Hello, and welcome to my Sunday Night Live at 5. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight's video tutorial on how to make a one-sheet wonder or a full sheet collage stamping. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to use a lot of stamps and a lot of colors. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So thanks for joining me. And remember to subscribe if you're watching this replay on YouTube. Remember to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. That really helps and it makes my heart happy. And if you are joining me live, then I'd love to have you say hello to me and let me know that you're here. So let me turn the camera around. Need to cover it up. Oh, there we go. How does that look? Pretty good. Not straight yet. Okay. I think I got it. We shall see. All right, so I need a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 Whisper White cardstock by Stampin' Up. You've heard me say it again and again that it is the best paper to stamp on. And I am going to begin with the beautiful Friendship Rose. Set the rest of those aside. If you haven't seen one of these before, they're really kind of fascinating to watch as they develop. And I've never done one on a live, so quite honestly, I'm just a little nervous about stamping this live because there's it doesn't always make sense as you go how it's going to turn out, but hopefully you'll hang in there with me and see the results. So I've got this small rose from the beautiful Friendship, and I'm going to go ahead and start this how I did when I first made it, thinking that I was going to do 4 cards out of this, and I was just going to put this right in the center. Now this is real red. This duo, maybe I'll just stamp that off and get a little lighter version. I don't think I did that on my other, but that lighter version of the stamp really adds to the depth. So then I got this and I thought, oh, let's just do one here in the middle. And then I just kind of went for the diagonal all the way around. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now notice that I didn't re-stamp right there, because if I re-stamp after I've already stamped off the page, then I'll get a funky line in my stamp. Oops, I didn't need to do that again. There we go. And I'm going to need to stamp that one off. There. I think I can do one down here and up here. There we go. And how about right up there, just one, and there. All right, so this is pretty. So if you're joining me live, I'd love for you to say hello. Let me know you're there. And I'll get that cleaned off. I think I'm done with that stamp for now. And now I'm going to come in with some leaves out of the Peace and Joy. I've been playing with this one quite a bit, so I'm going to use this larger leaf. I also know I'm going to use this one and the holly leaves, and I think I'm going to use both of the little star shapes there. Now, I'm kind of repeating what I did yesterday on my own, but hello, Gloria. Thanks for joining me. So the next color that I'm going to be using is Shaded Spruce. And I'll be taking, so I got a little smudge right there, and that's going to be okay. Like, my camera is a little crooked, isn't it? Let me see if I can straighten that out for you. There. That should be a little better. All right, so stamping off like that. And one more down here. Got that funny line in there. Okay, did I get them all? I did, mostly. All right. So on my other one, I did go over on the other side. I don't know if I have room for this. All of these. I'm going to give it a go. It is really fine for all of these to just kind of meld together. That is kind of the way the collage stamping goes. Clean that one off. And now let's get this holly leaf mounted up. And I'm going to change greens and this time go with Old Olive. Let's see what we can do with this. Again, on my sample piece, I didn't do this second generation stamping that I'm showing you, but I think it's going to look actually better than my original because I was not super happy with these little spots right here. And I think by tucking this in here and then doing the second generation, it's going to help fill those gaps that I was a little unhappy with the first time. So notice that I'm just choosing my starting point and then pivoting and stamping again. So if you have any questions about any of these items that I'm using or anything about what I'm doing, make sure you let me know. I get pretty in the zone, so I will try to keep an eye on the comments, but definitely I'd love to hear that you're here. Say hello to me. Okay, so I need to get these other sides. What do you think so far? Hi, Natha. Hey, Natha, is this the first time you've been able to join one of my lives? That, did I get them all? Above and below, I think I did. Okay, time for a new color. So this time I'm grabbing Seafoam, soft Seafoam, and I'll be using another one of those leaves from the Peace and Joy. This one, I'm going to borrow that block. So that like fir leaf. All right, where did I put this one then? I think I just came in here. I'm going to tuck that right there. Oh, you know what? I didn't mean to do ink up the stem. So I'm going to concentrate on getting just the leaf part of that and not inking up the stem. So the final product, that particular stamp is not going to show all that much, but it is going to add to the overall texture of the piece. It does kind of look like wallpaper, doesn't it? I was also thinking some of my grandma's old sheets. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and do one like that. Now, what you're going to start seeing is that this darker shaded spruce, when I stamp on it, I'm reactivating that ink and I'm kind of trailing some of it along with me, but I don't think that is too much of a bother, is it? So I'm not quite able to follow the same pattern that I was using, but again, this is collage stamping and there's not necessarily any particular rules that must be followed. Just kind of do what looks good to you. Let's see, right here. All right. That is very pretty. I love it. Okay, so next I'm going to use the from Gorgeous Posies. This little it looks it's going to look like twigs on my piece, but I think it's meant to be like the veins in that leaf right there. Of course, there's no like hard and fast rule like, oh, I'll have to use it for this. Whatever it looks like to you, you use it. Will this fit on a small one? I think this will fit on a small one. Yeah, good. Let me clean that up. Alrighty, so for this color, I'm going to use soft suede. If you've never seen one of these being done, it'll probably be kind of surprising how many stamps. Let me stamp off and see how I like that. I kind of like it. Although I'm not completely convinced I like it. What do you guys think? Adding stamped off on the twigs or just once? I don't know. I also think I'm not gonna, I was kind of following a pattern, but I think I don't really need to do that. And might look better if I don't. Yeah, I think I'm liking it a little more random. And just kind of finding the open spots. Okie doke. I think I'm done with One right there. Okay. Somebody stop me. Clean that off. Let's see, what did I want to do next? Let's try the blue. I'm going to go with Balmy Blue now and use this, what I think looks to me like a Hesperia cluster. Not Hesperia. I said the wrong thing. It'll come to me. All right, Balmy Blue. So this is going to be very pale. I'm going to kind of come into this white space here in the middle. And probably come back on the other side as well. Oh, I think this one's turning out prettier than the first one. Love it. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to stick with that blue and switch to those little star shapes. Actually, maybe just the small one. You know, I'm going to get them both going. Almost done with this one. Yay. Okay. So I think I'm done with the blue for a little bit. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit. And switch to Cherry Cobbler. And I'm going to use now another stamp set. So this one is called Framed for You. And it has these really adorable. Oh, you know what? I didn't add the pine cones on the last one. I think maybe I should add pine cones tonight on this one. So I'm going to start with the flower. And ink up the flower. Now this is a distinctive stamp, so it comes out very light and ethereal. So I'm going to stamp these around my little branch clusters. And so now what you see I'm doing is I'm just looking for kind of blank spots, and I'm stamping each one, white spots rather, stamping 3 times in most cases. So if you, after watching this video, feel inspired to try your own collage stamping, then I'd love for you to hop on over to Rosie Scrapper Stampers and share with us on that page how it turned out, how you felt about it. So my inspiration for months now has kind of come from Ruth at Artful Stamping. She does amazing one-sheet wonders. It just keeps changing, doesn't it? Okay, so I want to come in with a little more, actually I'm going to change colors. Use a color that I haven't used yet called Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to be using another small stamp set from here. I want to use this one. So if you're joining me live, I'd love for you to say hello. Let me know you're there. Let's see what that looks like before I decide where I want to put it. I feel like I need, that's pretty dark, isn't it? Oh, I forgot I inked this one up yesterday. So it's extra dark. I don't think I need a lot of this, but I do. This is a really cool stamp. Notice how it's doing that curve very nicely. I want to break up some of these shaded spruce areas because it just looks kind of like a blob of shaded spruce. So coming in with another green, I think just helps break up that pattern. Plus in a floral arrangement, you see lots of different shades of green, don't you? I just felt like I needed a fresh view of it to see where else I might need this mossy meadow. And that did help me. It's very Christmassy, isn't it? All right. So I think one of the last things I'm going to do although I can't guarantee that it will be the last, is come in with these flower centers from Beautiful Friendship. So there's this little flower center, and I'm going to come in with the cherry cobbler. So I get kind of a darker center. Cherry cobbler again. You guys are quiet tonight. Hi, Pam. How are you doing? So I'm kind of changing it up tonight. I have been kind of on a roll of doing those 3 cards, same layout. So doing something a little different tonight by stamping, collage stamping my background, and then using this to create some cards. I'm not super happy with the way some of the areas of shaded spruce came out, but I can pretty much guarantee that once you cut this paper apart, like all of the mistakes that you feel you have kind of disappear. All right, so I was not done, as I suspected, because I start to see areas that make me feel a little uncomfortable because of how blank they are. So I'm going to come back in with some more of this mossy meadow. And there's a few places, I don't know that I'll do this to all of them, but there's a few places right there that I just feel needs a little something something. So it's not so white next to the roses. Again, I didn't want that really dark mossy meadow, but I wanted a different color than the old olive. Oops, forgot to stamp off on that one. We got the full version there. Yeah, I like that better. Kind of closing the gap there. Kind of missed it. Did I get them all? All the ones I want to get? There. Just that one there. I think I'm good. All right. So recently, as like in the last couple of days, I've been really liking the look of Bumblebee as my kind of vintage look. So on my original, I did this with masks. And so on this one, I think I wanted to bring in that script from Very Versailles. I know I had it here. There it is. So this really makes things look vintagey and collagey. Okay. Now I'm not going to stamp like a full on press down and get a perfect image. I'm just kind of lightly tapping these, and I probably should be tapping off too. I'm getting my second generation of color. This just really helps add texture, makes it look really vintage. There. I like that. All right. Those stars are really stand out, and I'm not sure if I like that, but I think I'm just done stamping. So let me grab the paper trimmer, set aside some of these stamp pads that are now in my way. And I think these are all cleaned up, so let me just pop them back in the boxes real quick. Let me know what you think. What do you guys think of this stamping style? And the last ones I think go in Peace and Joy. Oh, no, not this. There we go. And there was one more leaf. What did I do with that? Oh, it's right here. Paper trimmer. All right, here we go. Cutting it up. So what I've decided to do tonight is make 2 of the slimline cards and then do the other portion 2 regular size cards. So I'll be trimming off the full length at 3 inches. And then, let me see how long this is, because I've kind of forgotten. So this is now 8 inches. So if I cut off another 3, then that's 5, and that's great. That's a great size. Okay, so I'm going to cut off another 3 inches. And look at that, 5. Yeah, this looks good. So that'll make another slim line. And then this is at 5 inches. So that is a 1/2 inch smaller than your card length. So I will make the other length a 1/2 inch smaller as well. So that's going to be at 3 3/4. And see which side I wanted to cut off. And so I want to cut off that side right there. So also 3 3/4. And then these will be 2 card fronts. So the card base for my slimline is going to be Bashful Blue. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out which, oh, you know what? I did want to do one more stamp. The dots from Waterfront. All right, so this is going to be cut at 7, and then I'm going to score it at 3 1/2. Put that in my balmy blue scraps, and then at 3 1/2, score it. There's our card. Wisteria. Wisteria is the name. It's those purple flowers that grape. I think that's what that reminds me of. Wisteria. This one, this image right there. which we cannot have. We cannot have wisteria where I live. It would not grow. Okay, let me get that stamp out. So I'm going to do the edges. And this idea came to me yesterday when I was stamping with a friend, and we were looking at a card made in the holiday catalog that had the edges stamped down. Oh my gosh, I'm totally missing your comments. I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, it's sometimes hard to cut them apart, but I sometimes like them a lot better. So I did this a lot more carefully the first time I did it, making sure that I was kind of changing the directions of the stamps, but so little of it shows. It just kind of adds some depth and texture. And you wouldn't need to do it at all. It just adds a little more interest. And the image ties together with your stamped panel as well. Like that. So that's going to go on there. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then I have pre-cut some die cuts. Actually, I want to stamp some dots. So I'm going to grab that soft suede. I don't know what it is about these little dots. And those of you who stamp with me, you know I like to do it with splatters, and sometimes I like to do it with stamps. But this is a favorite stamp, and I've cut it apart so that I can use it a smaller version when I need to. So I'm just going to add these dots pretty much all over the whole thing. I'm doing several stamp offs. There. I like it better with the dots. What do you think? Do you like it better with the dots? As a matter of fact, this goes with waterfront, and I don't even put it back. It's just always out on my desk. My fingers are getting very dirty. All right, so now I'm ready to glue down. All right, so I cut out some white poinsettias with the poinsettia petals dies. And I feel like they need, oh, I probably should have inked the edges of that, shouldn't I have? Okay, next one can have inked edges. All right, so I think that the flowers need some ink added to them. So I cut out the medium and the small. So I'm going to use that, and maybe I'll go this way with my card, like that. And then I'm going to be stamping on Whisper White and cutting that out. Oh, maybe that looks good, just white. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I use a color to brush on some color on those poinsettia petals? I will let you think about that and give me an answer. And if you think I should, what color do you think I should use? I'm thinking maybe Bumblebee, a little bit of Bumblebee, or maybe the Bashful Blue. Keep with the Bashful Blue. And it would be very light. So I've kind of taken to cutting out of my embellishments and my tags that I create with Whisper White Thick lately, just to add, it just adds a little more bulk and a little more substantial. Well, you know what else we could do is we could paint those with, or spray them with some shimmer paint. Maybe that's what we should do. I don't know. Do you guys have an answer for me? Are you giving me your input? Nope, nothing yet. All right. So my greeting is going to come from the poinsettia petals. I have so many stamp sets out right now. It's quite a stack over there. I want to stamp May Magic and Wonder Bloom this holiday. Like I said, I was stamping with some friends yesterday. And that was the greeting on her card, and I just thought it was so beautiful. But I do want to emboss it. And I think I might mix my colors and go with gold and silver. And if you think about it, I actually have cool and warm going on in here. So I think it's okay for me to mix my metals. So let's do a little anti-static there. And get my Versamark ready. My stamp is ready. Okay, so you guys are saying shimmer paint. All right, shimmer paint it is. So this is going to be embossed in gold. That turned out nice. Do you see now that I'm following my own rules? Lid on before we turn the heat tool on. And I think it seemed to have a lot of stray there. Yeah, a little blowing on that did the trick and got rid of those extra pieces. All right, so I didn't cut these flowers out with watercolor paper, but it is thick, so hopefully the water won't warp my flowers too much. Let's go ahead and get that cut out with the die. So this is from, I should use a little piece of tape, shouldn't I? The Tasteful Textures in Good Taste. In Good Taste, I think, is the sweet. Tasteful something is the name of the dies. Oh, my washi tape is stuck. All kind of a mess. Let's see if I have another washi tape that would work. This one will work. Okay, so I will stick the washi tape on my arm to get rid of a little bit of the sticky. Hopefully that's straight. And there we go. Nice. So that's going to go on there like that. And I cut out some leaves. Oh, some silver leaves. Maybe I'll do a silver leaf. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I add in a silver leaf? I also cut out some of those. I have some of these. I have little silver poinsettias. All right, well, let me get the shimmer paint out. I'm going to go with the shimmer white this time. And grab my let's see if we can make this happen. So I'll just use whatever paint is in the lid there with my medium brush. Just get the water flowing. Paint it on. Oh, that's pretty. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer that's going on here. It's really pretty. You could do this with your Wink of Stella as well. Need a little more paint. And I also want to stay away from these red spots right there because this paint and this water will pick up that color since the ink is water soluble. And then I'm getting pink on my flowers, which wouldn't be completely disastrous, I realize, but I have to stop filling here pretty soon since this is not watercolor paper. There. I will pick those up and try to show you the shimmer. I need to stick that in some water to clean that off for just a moment. There. Okay. Let's see if I can get that in the light for you. Can you see that shimmer? Let's zoom in. Zoom into my dirty hands. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but it's really shimmery. They are very shimmery. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put those together with some mono liquid glue. Just right there in the center. A little dab will do ya. And then I'll add some, just like one dimensional to the back. I will add some more later, but as I'm just putting this all together, I'll go ahead and put that in the center. Got some shimmer paint on the card. Yay! Okay. There we go. Let's get some leaves around there. Oh, and you know, that funky spot with my shaded spruce leaves, all covered up now. Yeah, grab a little glue. Just on the end there. So if you are just now joining my live, I'd love to know that you're here with me. Say hello. I am finishing up a card that I stamped a one sheet wonder with. So I stamped the background on a full sheet and now have cut it up and I'm going to make cards with it. I don't know if I need that third one. Oh well, I'm going to use it. I also have some green sprigs. So I cut this out of Granny Apple Green. So I can add those in there. And just keep building this up to my heart's content. See if we can get another one up here on the top. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's see about some little, oh, I think so. I think it's too long though, and I'm going to trim it off. There. And where's that piece I trimmed off? Can I use that? Maybe I'll just use a little piece up there. Let's see, I could use that as my center, or I could use one of the gems, or I could add a few of these over here. I don't know. I think I like it. I think I'm going to go with that. And then maybe bring the gold back in with some gold faceted gems. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Because I still have to go to church tonight for rehearsal. So I have to finish this up. There. And there. And some glue for the flower center. There. And let's grab some gold faceted gems so that we can use a complete combo of gold and maybe those. Ew. Do I have faceted gems in here? I do. This one hasn't been opened. It's a pretty fancy card. I love it. Let's see. Do I want centers on those? Oh, I think I do. I think that looks great. I think I'm just going to do centers. A combo of silver and gold. Complete. And voila. Oh, I was still zoomed in. I apologize for that. That was kind of a long time I was zoomed in there. All right. So one card done, and I could do the other one just like that, which I probably will. I might ink the edges a little bit of that on that. And then I'll be making, okay, so let me show you on this one. I won't be able to finish this one, but my plans were to finish it in a very similar way. So this is cherry cobbler, and this is cut to, this piece is cut to, oh, I think I cut this to 3 3/4 by 5, and then I cut my panel down. And then I used one of my curvy keepsake dies and cut that. And so then my plan was to stamp Merry Christmas here and then do another Whisper White poinsettia here. And of course, add in some foliage on here. Kind of like that. And maybe Merry Christmas could be stamped in shaded spruce. Maybe more sprigs? I don't know. What do you guys think? So I will finish that and it will be on my blog. And the most of the supplies, I think, except for a few things that I did on spur of the moment, like the Very Versailles and the paper and the gems, the curvy dies, didn't make it to the list, but I can always add those later for you. If you have any questions about anything I've used tonight, I do sell all of the supplies that I use to make these cards, the dies, the ink, the stamps, the frost white shimmer paint, those water painters. So if you need any of these supplies, you can purchase them from my online store, which is linked in my blog and in my bio of this. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, again, I would love for you to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And please let me know if you have any questions, if I can help you out in any way. All right. It's been lovely to spend time with you. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope you'll come back next Sunday night at 5 if I can do that. I know I've got some rehearsals coming up for Christmas music on the 20th at OVCN. So if not, then I'll see you next week at 5. All right. Bye for now.